I'll get in. Hello, sorry I'm on so late. I got really into reading Miracle Man comic series, and it's really good. Kind of sucks because the most recent writings of Miracle Man are kind of tied up in Neil Gaiman's messiness, um, what I do not know enough about, even in the sense of like I've read quite a bit about it, but um, literally like I don't know enough about, as in like I don't know the people involved and like witnessed it, and I think it's kind of a little messy at best. But even further, past the Neil Gaiman stuff, which again I'm a little off on. From what I can tell, I guess this is my stance at the moment, is that they have a really so the main allegation that Neil Gaiman um, forced himself onto his nurse. Um, and the seemingly confusion comes from the line between of did he force himself or did he believe in his opinion to establish consent, but she didn't consent, she just did it because of needed the job, which is messy. But um I don't know, I read their WhatsApp text messages, public information from the lawsuit, and if you read those text messages, I and again, this is why it's hard because I do not know them, but the way they talk to each other is not one that seems on the surface at least to be that of a person in power versus someone being taken advantage of. Which doesn't mean that it's not happening, because especially because like such things are kind of innate in those power dynamics. Like the whole relationship, even if consensual, is sort of wrong off principle. But I don't know. Like yeah, and there was like talk like how she was homeless when she was hired and stuff, which again may be true, but it turns out that like Neil Gaiman was paying not one but like two of her houses like rents and shit, and I don't know. It just seems really messy, and it's hard, and so it's one of those where it's like I don't blame anyone who's off put by Neil, um, in the sense that like even on paper what is written is sort teetering the line, but I don't know if it's as bad as some of it is making out to be. Um, and yeah, then there's some things saying that like he did it with like the sun in the room and such, and I don't know, but it seems very unsubstantive. Like, and again, not that it doesn't like didn't happen, but they were like reports alleged from anonymous women may be involved in them. And not that it doesn't happen, like definitely not saying that. but it's just not enough for me at the moment to like really stand on it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't seem great overall, but I mean, maybe this is my bias speaking, but I think his writing is so interesting by itself that maybe I am just more culpable to believing not in him, I guess, but not being as wrong in my dismissal of him as others are. Yeah, I mean, it's also in fairness where I mean, I have this stuff. That's not gonna give. don't know. Anyway, what I was bringing up saying it though is I think Miracle Man is a really interesting subsection between Alan Moore and Neil Gaiman, where the first part of Alan Moore is essentially his pretty pretty commonplace by now, because this is even I think before Watchmen, of like trying to deconstruct what a hero is, uh, and he did it by essentially making a somewhat natural timeline where what we would consider a bog standard superhero to essentially be God or to be a somewhat like a deity. Um, and then it transitions to Gaiman, who spends Silver and Gold Age partially testing the characters, but more sort of deconstructing the world that is made by the god and how it's not actually that great. Um, and kind of like what goes in and around that. I don't know. I think it's really fascinating that it took like. I would consider. Why is my controller not? But it takes essentially what I would argue is two of the most influential, mature, like comics, and I don't know, it just works with them, and you get to see them both in sort of the same property. Okay, what is up with my? Oh, I don't know. Neil Gaiman's probably a huge piece of shit. Um, it's just like yeah, me. It just straddles the line of oh god, fucking the Ludwig podcast, The Yard, does this bit sometimes where they go crime or cringe, and it's essentially talking about a subject such as a scene in your yard. And is it crime? Is it a crime or is it cringe? Like either way, it's bad. But should you be like legally culpable, like taken away from like society, or should people look at you and go, "Bro, that is fucking weird," and like kind of exclude them in that way? And I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm just not sure what's gone on with Neil is crime. I think it's just like cringe, and not just cringe, but like evil cringe, if that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm just bogging it all down. Divisive. That's what my Bluetooth thing open. Primary. Move it. And plug it back in. They're out of USB ports, man. Still no? I mean, I can connect it via Bluetooth. I don't really care, but I like it to work. Still got a Batman like we're good? No? I don't know. Yeah, it's just not gonna work, I guess, for now. That work? It is. I really don't know if I can do more. Keyboard mice. Maybe I need to plug uh, so bad. Fucking yesterday. Still not enough. Seems so random. Okay, I guess I need to turn my computer. I'll be back.